well, if you wanted to see more quaint British countryside, as well as some magical creatures and a sorcerer who has a deer skull for a head. First of all, I'd like to ask why you thought of that kind of eclectic collection of things, but still, you're in the right place. And with the first episode introducing the characters and their, well, at least we know her selective backstory, quite an interesting bit of intrigue we've got, isn't it? And where it is initially starting off as a servant-master relationship, the premise being that it's going to turn into a marriage? I'm interested to see in how that journey pans out. So let's get going. And it is a very strong opening song to start off with. And unlike other shows, there's no introduction to it. And I'm sure I've mentioned it in other things that I've watched, but I'm not sure what the term is, but there's a song that I really like, which is Bossa Nova. From a game, and I've mentioned it so many times, people who know what it is are probably sick of it, but it reminds me of the soundtrack from that, so it's kind of inevitable that this song immediately ramps itself up high in my estimations. And then combine that with just the visuals and the beauty of it. You'd have to have some truly poor writing for me to find anything to complain about. Wow. So that's her younger, I guess. And was it her choice to cut her hair? Anyone that has reached that state is in a very precarious predicament. My will to live is so high that I can't place myself in that position, so I can only do my best to try and empathise. Come on, you're just trying now to be close to it. It looked like the same colour poncho and everything. Also, did I mention this, but why does he have that skull head? Was it like an original experiment gone wrong, or... It was a relatively good fit. I mean, when you don't want to have to deal with the Royal Mail. Perfect solution. And as pretentious as it is, I kind of want a quill and inkwell. Well, she has been through a lot, and it's good to see that the The bags have disappeared. Good breakfast. You can't really beat a fry up, and full English is a good breakfast. Bit early to bring up talk like that. And I can't remember because I only got a quick glimpse, but was there black pudding on that plate? There better have been. I've only been to London once, and I wasn't anywhere near. Sure, makes sense. He covered himself with a veil last time, so. Is there a reason why he, Hidoi. But is there a reason why he doesn't keep up something like that illusion magic? Well, I guess, if you got a skull head, just own the fact. Yeah. Okay, I take back my words. Any particular reason you'd need those goggles in a bookstore? So for the ridiculously social, adverse hermit to take on an apprentice is quite a shock, I guess. Just paid an extraordinary amount of sum. Weird is subjective. But what do you mean by weird? Weak to physical attacks. Axolotl looking thing. Any particular reason why it's like only certain times when she can see things like that? Yeah, that might be quite good. Okay, now that explains the welding goggles. Is that a flower made from crystals? You got to start training them young, then. Apparently so. Well, she just wanted to show you the thing she made. The fact it took you that long to react. That's quite a weird hairless cat she's got there. Whenever people ask the question, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? Instead of flight or strength, almost unanimously my answers are going to be to alter reality. Reality bending itself. In concept, yes, but I'm guessing in principle, it's quite difficult. I mean, that's the same in any kind of field, isn't it? Hugo? Ah, Hugo. Oh, you're a lot smaller than I thought. The camera angle really made it look. That salamander is really stealing the show, though. Is there a reason why Hugo is holding onto her hair? I'm guessing she's going to have one of those, wow, you got it somewhat, first try. There are many different flowers that I like, so. Ooh. Yeah, I think she's slightly different than the usual. So she has quite the past trauma, which we already knew, but a nice flower field she made. It kind of puts the kid's crystal to shame. Interesting is what she is. And is anyone going to expand on that? Well, you never asked. Apologising? Is there a reason why the lights are out as well? Is it just to emphasise it? Well, at least they're having fun cleaning up. Very nice, but you're saying quite a lot of stuff that I'm sure she has no real grasp on what it means. And so far, considering she's meant to be an apprentice, Ainsworth hasn't really taught her anything. And get the gecko back inside. Can't have him wandering about London. It's not safe for Scaly Boy. I have seen scenes like this while on trains. Oh, that seat cover is nostalgic. I feel itchy just thinking about it. The terrible bus seats. Ugh. Ah, I'm wondering why he's like 5 foot behind. Well, I'm sure it's easier to not beat around the bush about these facts, especially when she almost entirely turned a room into crystal. He is definitely Yashashi no Hito. Is that the? I was about to say, is that the truth or just something to comfort her? But was her mother the only one that kind of accepted her for being different? Priest? So even a great mage will get missionaries. Simon Callum. Oh, Cullum. He's enjoying that tea a bit too much. Or what am I saying? There's no such thing as too much when it comes to tea. Is there a reason that Silky has taken such a protective stance? Everyone kind of has that slant on Ainsworth, don't they? So which do you choose, A, B, or C? But he's a being that they have to keep track of. Understandable. Yeah, so that could have cleared up many, many issues throughout history if gods can just be direct like that. Apart from just, buying people, Ainsworth seems quite altruistic, making medicines for the sick and all that. Is there going to be a somewhat dark side to him as well? Make the character quite interesting. I'd be interested to see what kind of destination he would choose as appropriate for a honeymoon. Fair enough. Are dragons real? And what dragons are we talking? Is it Western dragons or Blue Eyes White Dragon? Oh, great. So we're already getting kidnapping and intrigue of a antagonist. Does she still have the protective necklace? And does it also work as some sort of tracker? In which case, I don't think they had to go through airport security, so his teleport seems to be able to go quite long range. And considering the many different stories that I know, the characters so far are very mysterious and just interesting. You've got the skull-headed magician who is, well, kept away from normal life for years and just shown himself. Any particular reason? Because she's there, and she is a question mark. We've got the priest dude, who's, he's a priest, so. And Silky, who is just a silent fairy maid who looks like a doll. And I can see this being a show where, instead of leaving off, even though this one was a cliffhanger per se, I can see it leaving off with me wanting just more, and if I really wanted to, I would binge watch the entire season. Would anyone be mad? But I will say, from what they showed us early on, yeah, that seems a lot like the Britain I knew from growing up. That memory of her mother in the flower field, and whether or not it is a happy memory or a much more ambiguous story behind it, which will probably be filled in as we go along. And words of advice seem to be completely ignored, didn't it? You know, look at all of these crystals embedded into my arm. Magic can be dangerous. You might want to take care. Oh, I filled this entire room. Whoops. Although it's easier to blame Eisworth. Maybe he can be the fall guy for a lot of this. But how much of it is him being nonchalant, and how much of it is him testing her or trying to teach her by making her make mistakes? Very nice. So, if you've enjoyed, please let me know by liking the video and leaving a comment down below. And if you want to make sure to never miss anything in the future, subscribe to the channel, turning on the notifications will definitely get you there. Not entirely guaranteed, but mostly. But for now, once again, make sure to get yourself some rest, and I'll see you in the next one. I want some tea now. And I want to give a massive dose of appreciation out to my Patreons, because you are the blooming flowers among the brambles that is, well, posting videos on the internet. To Florda Sal, Raywin, Yuki Halley, Aegis TR, Denomed 1997, Louis Almanza, Aisha M, and my other Patreons. Once again, thank you. Sneeze.